Well, Jamie, thank you so much for joining me to talk about tapping this morning.
It is my pleasure. Thank you for inviting me, Arlena.
Yes, well, listen, I attempted to do some tapping videos for the group, and then when you and I connected and I found out that you were certified, I was like, oh, thank God, a professional.
Exactly.
So tell me a little bit about what is EFT tapping? What does it stand for?
Well, I'd like to start a little bit with why I got into it also by
Sure.
way of illustration. And that's that I discovered it around 2012. And the very first time I ever did it, and the setup phrase, which is how you start tapping,
Hmm.
says, even though I feel, and you name the emotion, I deeply and completely accept myself.
Mm.
And I was intrigued by this because Louise Hay said that tapping was the most important modality to come along in her lifetime.
Are you serious?
Isn't that cool?
That's powerful. Louise Hay, she's no joke. She's the boss lady.
She's the boss lady. And when I did the tapping, I deeply and completely accept myself. I started to cry. And I thought,
Mhm.
I have tapped, and my goal and dream my whole life is to fall in love with myself. I know self love is the key to everything, and
Everything.
everything,
Yes. Well, everything good anyway.
everything good. And tapping is a way to tap into self love because what it does is it frees you from the emotions that are actually held physically in your body. When you think about the word emotion, it's energy in motion. And what
Okay.
happens is throughout our lives, especially when we're younger, up till age 7, we absorb everything and we absorb all those memories and every trauma. And I always assert that everyone was traumatized when they were younger.
Yeah, life
Um,
is traumatizing.
Life is traumatizing. For some people, when their dad was busy and didn't have time to talk to them, they embedded, I'm worthless
Mm.
in that short moment. Other
Yeah.
people have more serious traumas, but the way our nervous system keeps things is what EFT can really get to. And it can, why I'm here right now and why Arlena invited me on this call is to help you with the here and now and dealing with emotions and cravings and the things that we want to clear right this very second. And I'm here to show you some really simple tools to do that.
That's really exciting. And EFT stands for Emotional
Emotion,
Freedom Technique.
Emotional freedom techniques. Yeah, it actually
Mhm.
has an S because there's a whole bunch of different ones.
Yes.
Tapping is the primary one. I'm also trained in matrix re-imprinting, which is really fascinating, where you go back and change the past without having to re-experience it at all.
Say
Ooh,
it again. What's it called? Matrix what?
matrix re-imprinting, a really, really fun
Re.
of emotional freedom techniques.
Okay, we will talk about. Do you think that should be its own separate discussion or?
Different day, yeah.
Okay, we'll do that another time. Okay, cool. So let's start a little bit with how do we actually? You mentioned a setup phrase. So when you do EFT tapping to for cravings, for instance, you start with a setup phrase.
Yes. And the setup phrase basically sends a signal to your body and to your nervous system to relax. And
Mhm.
all of EFT does that. So let me explain what a setup system is. Let's just say that you're craving, or you want to go with chocolate. Does that sound like a
Yeah,
good
that's a great one.
craving?
How about sugar? Do you have to be super specific or?
And let me tell you a story. And that is that when I first was in the phase of being certified and learning about this, it's a long process. And when I was in it, I've had a lifelong journey with weight loss. I've lost oh, hundreds of pounds, probably.
Oh,
But
yeah.
recently,
Over time.
35 pounds, and
Wow.
primarily through tapping. And
Wow.
I love to help people with weight loss through tapping. It's
Okay.
so cool, and grief and stress. And one day, suddenly out of the blue, I just wanted to eat everything in my kitchen.
I'm
I
familiar.
You're familiar. I It's like I could not stay glued to the couch. It's like every moment I just wanted to like, and I
Yeah.
feeling like I could just like start eating everything in my kitchen and not stop. And
Mm.
I don't stock things that I really shouldn't eat. It's basically healthy stuff, but it's not good to just eat when you're not hungry, which I
Mhm.
wasn't hungry. I had my beast in the belly, that's what I call it, just
Mhm.
growling, like, feed me, you have to feed me. So I started tapping right
Mhm.
here on the side of my hand with
Mhm.
these fingers. And it doesn't matter which hand you use. And you
Okay.
can switch back and forth, and that won't matter either. So whichever you want to use. And I said, with the setup phrase, I said, even though I want to eat everything in the kitchen right now, I deeply and completely accept myself and how I feel. And you do that 3 times. Even though I want to eat everything in the kitchen right now, I deeply and completely accept myself and how I feel. Even though I want to eat everything in the kitchen. And I deeply and completely accept myself. And then the next place you go with tapping is the top of the head.
Okay.
And it would be cool if you follow along with me,
Are we
Arlene.
doing it now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay. You know what? I was just introducing it. Let me
Okay, finish explaining it and then.
finish the introduction. That's right. So next place is top of the head. Next place is eyebrow point, and we'll do it together.
Okay.
Then side of the eye,
Okay.
underneath the eye, under your nose,
Uh-huh.
under your lip, collarbone point, and then under your arm, right around your brow line,
Uh-huh.
or you can use a wrist if that's not comfortable for you.
Okay.
A couple things to know about EFT is it's a very forgiving process. The second thing, like, you can't really do it wrong, but
Awesome.
what I like to say is the only way you can do it wrong is to get yourself like into an emotion and then stop. Just don't stop. Keep
Okay.
going
Okay.
until that emotion goes away, and you will be able to do this. Of course, working with a professional can get you into changing core beliefs and
Mm.
things what I call the apps that have been running your life, and reasons why, like, you tell yourself, I'm going to do
Mhm.
it this way, but then the next thing you do is you do it that way, and you're like, why is that? So you can actually change those core beliefs. But let's try some tap. Oh, I'm sorry, I was in the middle of a story, and let me finish what that story was.
Okay.
So I was that day wanting to eat everything in the refrigerator
Mm-hmm.
or in the kitchen. And all I did, it's very simple, is I just started tapping through the points saying, I want to eat everything in the refrigerator. Just telling the truth. I want to eat everything in the refrigerator. I want to eat everything in the refrigerator. I can't stop myself. I want to eat everything in the refrigerator. I just want to eat all night long. I don't know why, but I just feel like I have to eat all. And I did that for quite a while. And I did one round, and I did another round, and I did another round. And suddenly it dawned on me that the reason I wanted to eat so much was that I had a first date the next day, which it hadn't been in my conscious mind, right? But
Mm.
it was the reason. And I kept tapping with that same thought. I want to eat this. I want to eat this. I want to eat this, until it just lifted straight out of my body.
Wow.
And it was like 6 o'clock at night. And I didn't go back into the kitchen. I just wasn't even interested. The entire desire went away.
So
And
can I
you,
ask a question?
yeah.
So this is it almost sounds like you were in denial about your anxiety about your first date and
Um,
no?
that's more, that isn't kind of in the tapping realm. It doesn't matter. Like the reasons for it
Hmm.
don't matter. I freed the emotion from my body, which is what does matter.
I just think what's so interesting is that you were not connected to your anxiety about the date
No,
until you did your tapping around the urge to eat.
and there's a reason for that, Arlena. And that's because when we're in a stressed state, our thinking capacity diminishes.
Hmm. Yeah.
I couldn't think. All I could be was in this I want to eat state, this state of like wanting to stressfully eat.
Yeah.
Once I had tapped the emotion out of my body, I could think again, which
Yeah,
is
that makes perfect sense to me. I'm a firm believer that the purpose of, I mean, that's an obsessive thought is I want to eat. And the purpose of the obsessive thought is to distract us from our feelings. And so once we can get in touch with whatever we're trying to distract from, it alleviates what is presenting, which is the eating or
so
drinking or
true.
whatever.
So true. So true. And
Okay. Can't
you know
think.
what
Okay. So,
I
mhm.
love about tapping is you're telling the truth. You
Yeah.
are not saying, I'm not going to go in the kitchen and eat. I'm not going to go in the kitchen and eat. Not, you're not tamping down something that's there and pretending it's not there.
Hmm.
You're looking at what's really true, tapping on that, and giving it a chance to leave, which I think is really important.
Oh, giving it a chance to leave. So that's in line with the idea that what we resist persist, right?
Exactly.
Awesome. Okay, now that we understand sort of the mechanics of it, can we try a round of tapping on sugar cravings?
Absolutely. Okay, so how about we do it exactly like we would do a session where you have a sugar craving.
Okay.
If you would, for me,
Uh-huh.
think about something that tell me what it is. What
The feeling
what sugar thing do you want to eat specifically?
I have cookie dough in my
Cookie.
fridge
You have
right
cookie dough
now.
okay. And I'm just going to ask you a couple questions about that.
Okay.
Um, on a scale of 0 to 10, with that cookie, thinking of that cookie dough, how much do you want to eat that cookie dough right now? 0 being nothing, 10 being like pretty much you just want to end this conversation and just go eat it right now.
Well, I actually don't really want to eat it right now. Maybe we should choose something that is. Does it have to be a sugar craving, or because I was expressing to you earlier that I have this reoccurring experience of frustration, and it shows up all the time. It shows up at work mostly. It shows up in my career or like I call them side hustle projects.
Uh-huh.
But it showed up this morning, like with my dog. I was trying to do some work and he kept bugging me. And so it's like I am the common denominator in all these things. So does that work with a feeling like frustration?
Absolutely. I will lead you in a session, just like
Okay.
you were sitting here with me as a client, and show you what. Now this is what I call clinical EFT. It's the way I was trained for the best way to get results.
Okay.
And that is to identify the emotion that you're feeling right this very second, thinking
Okay.
about that moment,
Hmm.
and see if there's any place in your body that you feel it. You may or you may not. And if you
Okay.
don't, that's fine. Not everybody has emotions that they can feel in their body. There's no judgment.
Hmm.
And then the specific moment that as you're thinking about it right now, like when you were the most like,
Okay, so think about that. I'm already starting to tear up a little bit because it's like such a
oh, you're
reoccurring.
starting to tear up.
Yeah.
Well, if you're starting to tear up,
Okay.
just do some silent tapping. Okay.
Okay.
And breathing and
Okay.
listening to my voice
Mm-hmm.
and just being here in the room, because this is something obviously you're highly emotionally charged with, which is fine. And then go to the top of the head and keep breathing.
Both
And
hands?
those of you, 2 hands, 1 hand, it doesn't
Okay.
really matter, whatever you feel comfortable with.
Mm-hmm.
And those of you who are watching right now, I promise you, if you tap with us, you will also get relief, okay?
Okay.
You will also feel some relief right now. Now, side of the head, side of the eye, and keep breathing. Under the eye, and keep breathing. Under your nose. Listen to the sound of my voice. Look out the window if you want to. Feel your feet on the floor, collarbone point. And under your arms. And Arlena, do you have water there?
I do.
Oh, good. That's a really important part of tapping.
Mm-hmm.
After every round of tapping, you need to drink.
Okay.
So right now, then, if I were to ask you, thinking about that incident with your dog this morning,
Mm-hmm.
on a scale of 0 to 10 at this moment, where would you place your intensity of emotion?
I would say probably like I was at a 10, probably like at a 7.
At a 7.
6 or
And
7.
let's just do one more round.
Okay.
7.
No setup statement?
Well, okay. What is the emotion that you're feeling?
I feel like frustration.
Frustration. And do you feel it anywhere in your body?
Like I typically feel it like in my chest or in my
And
stomach.
right this moment, what are you feeling? This very second, thinking about that moment with the dog this morning.
Yeah, probably like in my chest.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what do you feel? There's a reason for me
It feels
asking.
yeah. When I feel frustrated, it feels almost like a burning, like like burning, or like it feels dark and tense and yeah,
Okay.
almost like a
Dark and
burning.
burning intense.
Mm-hmm.
And can you please describe for me the moment, that specific moment that
Yeah, so I was I was feeling inspired and I wanted to do some writing and get my thoughts and organized, trying to do a to-do list, and then he kept biting me.
ooh,
Yeah, not like hurting me, but it was just annoying. Like he likes to sit under my desk and he wants to play. And so he's really trying to get my attention. So I try to give him other things, and he won't leave me alone. And and I just start feeling angry that I'm allowing this dog to like rule my life. And I'm like, it's like I have things to do. And
okay.
anyway, and then he'll like nip at me and like, and then I just get really mad. And so I had to take him out of the room and put some distance.
Okay. So thank you. That's perfect.
Okay.
I'm going to leave
So
you.
stupid.
And it's not stupid at all. It is not stupid. And it's the perfect example of, and this emotion that you said that you get this recurring emotion.
Yeah.
Consider this session to be chipping away at that tendency that it can have an impact. I had a client come to me with an anxiety level number 10 that she woke up with every morning in her belly. And after the first session, we brought that down to like this.
Wow.
And it changed her life.
Wow.
Like from then on. This work is really deep and really exciting. That's why they call it the 4th wave of psychotherapy.
I did not know that.
Yes, it is going to be taking over because it's faster.
The 4th wave.
More efficient. Dr. Peta Stapleton, she is one of the primary researchers in Australia, and she has a TED Talk And if you look up her TED Talk, she talks about this being the fourth wave of psychotherapy, and it's really exciting.
Dr. Peta, what was her last name?
Stapleton.
I'm sorry, one more time.
Stapleton.
Oh, Stapleton. Sorry.
That's
Okay. TED
So,
Talk. I will totally share that.
yes, very cool. Very cool stuff.
Okay.
So in right now,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to lead you through a session.
Okay.
So how this works is I say words, you repeat them.
Okay.
And I'm going to do my very best to use your words. But if I say something that doesn't quite ring true, feel free to step in and say it in the words that mean the most to you. This is, I picture this like I'm a guide on a path, but you're walking on that path with me.
Okay.
So you are also a guide on the path. It's a very, we work together.
Okay.
So right now, and you would describe that incident as my dog was biting me. Does that sound like it's a specific enough? We want the specific moments. That's where the power lies.
I feel like my dog was controlling me.
I feel like my dog was controlling me. Perfect. I feel like my dog was controlling me. Okay.
Yeah.
And this burning sensation in your chest.
Yeah.
Heat and burning, is that what you said?
Yeah.
And did you say chest, or what did you
I
call
did. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's like my solar plexus.
it?
I don't know where that is.
Chest and solar plexus?
Yeah.
Okay. And right now, as you're talking to me about your dog controlling you this morning, what's the emotion that you feel, and give me a number?
The emotion I feel is like anger and frustration.
Okay. Which is stronger, just for this?
I'm gonna call it frustration, because that's like my overall.
Okay.
That's the feeling that comes up for me in my life repeatedly that I want to get rid of.
Okay. And is it the one that you feel right now, thinking of this morning?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
cool. Okay. And from 0 to 10? Right now.
Just a tapping. I don't feel it now.
Thinking of your dog. Oh, is it gone?
We already did this.
Is it already gone?
No, but I mean, it does feel lesser already.
Okay, good.
Am I ruining the exercise?
No, you're not. No, you're not. Just give it a number. Maybe it's a
okay. Let's just say 7, because when we were, done, it was like it didn't feel as charged.
Okay. Well, we'll start here, and then you'll see what happens when we make it through the session too.
Okay.
The magic class. So you repeat after me.
Okay.
Even though I'm feeling this frustration.
Even though I'm feeling this frustration.
And this heat and tightness. Is that what you said? Heat and tightness.
Burning. Right? Yeah. Heat and burning in my,
burning in my solar plexus, in my chest and solar plexus.
Chest and solar plexus.
Right now. Just thinking about this morning when my dog was controlling me.
Yeah. When my dog was controlling me.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though I feel this frustration right now.
Even though I feel this frustration right now.
And this burning and heat in my chest and solar plexus.
And this burning and heat in my solar plexus.
Just thinking about this morning when my dog was biting me and controlling me.
Just thinking about when this dog was biting me and controlling me.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
You can use your dog's name if you want to.
Okay.
Okay, so even though
I'm
feeling frustration,
this
burning in my solar plexus, thinking about this morning, when my dog was controlling me,
when Teddy was controlling me,
I deeply and completely accept myself. Top of the head. This frustration and burning in my solar plexus.
Eyebrow point. This frustration
and burning in my solar plexus.
This frustration and burning in my solar plexus.
Side of the eye. This frustration and burning in my solar plexus.
This frustration and burning in my solar plexus.
Under your eye. This frustration and burning in my solar plexus.
This frustration and burning in my solar plexus.
Under your nose. This frustration and burning in my solar plexus.
This frustration and burning in my solar plexus.
Under your lip, this frustration and burning in my solar plexus.
This frustration and burning in my solar plexus.
Collarbone point. This frustration and burning in my solar plexus.
This frustration and burning in my solar plexus.
Under your arms, this frustration and burning in my solar plexus.
This frustration and burning in my solar plexus.
Take a breath and have some water. And is it still frustration? And is it still burning in your solar plexus?
No, I feel tingly.
Okay.
What does that mean? Is it releasing?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Wow, that is so weird.
Oh, I know. Well, so thinking about this morning,
Uh-huh.
and
Oh
Teddy
my God.
fighting you, trying to control you. Back on that moment just for a second. And tell me, do you feel any frustration? Is it still frustration? Is there any other emotion that might have come up?
No, I mean, that was so weird. By the end of it, I felt kind of tingly. I still feel kind of tingly. Like I don't even connect to that. Yeah, I don't even connect to that feeling. Yeah.
Motion, energy and motion.
That is so trippy.
Isn't it trippy?
Yeah. I can't wait for everyone to try it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I have some tips for everyone.
Okay.
To make it simple.
Okay.
I know what we just did here was kind of a professional round of EFT, but here's a couple of things. Like if you've got a craving for something, you can just very simply say, even though I'm craving whatever it is, I deeply and completely accept myself. Do that 3 times.
Okay.
And then just go, I'm craving this. I'm craving that. I'm craving this. I'm craving this. Do your round of, just focus on what you're craving.
Okay.
And do it long enough and the craving will lift.
You don't have to say the whole like I accept myself part.
No.
You don't. Okay. Like you said, okay, you mentioned that there's no wrong way to do it.
It is helpful to do it.
Okay.
But say you forget those words. You know, you're out there and you're like, what was that video? Do it anyway.
Okay.
I mean, it does help to do this reverse. Even though I feel blah, 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 I deeply and completely accept myself. And if for some reason you can't say I deeply and completely accept myself, which some people are not close to being able to do, and that's okay.
Okay.
If for some reason you can't say those words, you can say, I comfort and soothe myself. Or you can say, I'm willing to try tapping and see if it helps.
Okay.
So those are also, valid. Or I'm okay. Or I know I'm going to be able to get over this. There are various different things that you can say if you cannot. But the first one you try is I deeply and completely accept myself.
Yeah. I like saying that because I feel like even if I don't believe it, like my subconsciously, like your subconscious mind will believe whatever you tell it repeatedly.
Exactly.
So that is amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you do this professionally, like people can make an appointment with you?
Absolutely. I do it via Zoom.
Awesome.
Like this, or in person in St. Beach, Florida.
I'm telling you, Zoom works. Like
really works.
that was a trip, just doing the tapping and then having you help me identify what was really like the stronger emotion,
Yeah.
anger, frustration, you
Yes.
know, and then
Yeah.
having you tell me, because I was like, oh, this is so dumb that I'm feeling so upset about the dog. And you're
Mm.
like, no, it's not dumb. It's not
Not
so
that.
good. Yeah. It's just
Mm-mm.
it's even, I'm someone that's like, oh, yeah, accept your feelings, and then I have a feeling and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so lame.
Oh, you are so not alone, Arlena.
I know.
So not alone. A lot of the people who come to me, the reason that maybe they're heavy or have an addiction is
Yeah.
because they've been told all their lives not to have the emotion that they have.
Especially women. We're like, be
It's
nice. Don't embarrass somebody else. Don't make
broken.
somebody else uncomfortable with your feelings.
Yes. And the
Yeah.
thing is, once you learn how to release your own emotion, you have
Wow.
so much more power to think and to
Hmm.
experience life in a very free way. And I can't tell you how many of my clients have turned to me in the middle of a session and said, it feels so good just to tell the truth.
Tell the truth. Yeah. Getting to the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
We don't
I'm
even tell ourselves the truth sometimes.
Well, yeah. I mean, and that's the thing is I've really been working with I have a sponsor and we're doing another round of the steps and
Yeah.
using Big Book Awakening.
Yeah.
And I went through step one and I didn't realize it was like I was in denial about so much stuff. I was unable to access the truth. Denial stands for don't even know I'm lying. And
Yeah.
when I was able to get to the truth, I was like, oh my gosh, how do I stay out of denial? How do I help others get out of denial?
Yeah.
And this seems like the perfect treatment for that. It allows the truth to come out.
And a way to get to the truth also is to just tap here and ask yourself, like,
Mhm.
sometimes people will come to me and they don't know what they want to tap on that day.
Mhm.
And I just have them start talking and tapping. And then
Okay.
suddenly it shows up.
That is so interesting.
Hmm.
Amazing. All right. Well, listen, I wanted to keep this kind of concise, but that was truly amazing. And I'm hoping that I can figure out how to do the Facebook Live with a guest so that we can maybe do a demo with somebody from the group. That would be amazing. I would love for someone else to experience.
And if anybody's interested, we should post it with it, but tapforhappiness.com
Yes, yes.
is my
Yeah,
website.
we will absolutely. I will include it.
Gmail.
Tap for happiness.
Yeah. And then tapforhappiness@gmail.com too.
Okay,
And
so tapforhappiness.com is the website, and then your email is tapforhappiness@gmail.com.
that's right.
Yay. Well,
Okay.
listen, thank you so much, Jamie. I'm so excited to have you as part of our stepsisters and part of the group, and I can't wait to share this. I'm going to go ahead. I'm just going to publish it as it is. I'm not even going to edit it.
Okay.
Yeah, so thank you so much for your patience with all the technical difficulties. It
You
was so
did
worth the wait. All right, you have a great day. Thank you.
it. You too.